Hello fans, and welcome back to another episode of Bob Johnson's Computer Stuff Inc. Thanks again for tuning in. We are the Toughbook experts and leading refurbishers for Panasonic Toughbooks. Today I'm going to be showing you how to remove and replace the inverter board as well as the touchscreen sensor on your Panasonic Toughbook CF-30. These two items are located in the LCD unit, so we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today that we have laid out for you. Okay, so first things first, what you need to do is that you need to remove the rear cabinet. You do this by removing the screws on the top cover. I will mark them with red circles so that way you will be able to identify where they are. And we are going to remove the screws. I'm going to use a small Phillips head to do this. We're just removing the screws at this point, so that way we can remove the rear cabinet. This would be a good opportunity to clean the screws as well. Just working our way around the top cover. Excuse me, rear cabinet. I find the more you practice with removing the screws, the easier it gets. There we go, we've moved all the smaller screws. Now for the bigger screws. There's really just two screws that really have to be removed. And there you go, you've removed all the screws for the top. Now we're going to remove the screws for the hinges. You will already see this Toughbook has been open prior, so you can tell that it's already been there's been some changes made to the LCD. I'll just state that. Yours may have an adhesive or sticky tape of some type along the edges, which you would need to break in order to open up the LCD. There you go, we removed all the screws for the top. Now we're going to remove the screws for the hinges. So you just want to flip your Toughbook open like this. Now we're just going to remove the keyboard bezel. To remove for the keyboard bezel. And there you have it. All screws have been removed for the keyboard bezel. Now you just lift the keyboard bezel out of place. I like to lift from the middle. There you go. We've removed the keyboard bezel. We're going to peel back the keyboard. Next, what we have to do is that we have to disconnect the LCD cables underneath the LCD cable cover. You want to zoom in so that way you get a better look. Okay, now we're going to remove the LCD cable cover. But we're actually going to start with the hinge cover here. So we're going to first unscrew this hinge cover. We're at it, we might as well unscrew the other hinge cover on the other side as well. Okay, now we're unscrewing the other hinge cover on the other side. Keep in mind we still have to remove the screws on the back. Now at this point I'm going to unscrew the two remaining screws for the LCD cable cover. Okay, now we're going to remove the two screws on the back for the hinges. Now to remove the screws on the back for the hinges, we're going to have to lift the computer up. Handle facing down. Back screws for the back hinges. There goes one. There goes two. Now at this point we're going to lay down the computer back flat. And open it back up. And now at this point we can remove the hinge covers. Now at this point we're going to be removing the LCD cable cover. We're going to disconnect the two LCD cables. There goes one, and the second one. There you go. Next step, we're going to have to remove the hinges. There are two screws which hold each hinge in place. We're going to have to unscrew all four of them. Okay? So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, now we're going to remove the two hinges, starting with the first one. Now for the next hinge, now we are going to unscrew the second hinge. There, removed all four screws for the hinges. And at this point you can close your computer up like so. And then you can also remove these two screws. Now we're working on the second one. And there goes the second one. Now, I suggest you lay it back flat at this point, and you should be able to remove the LCD screen, like so. Now you see that we separated the monitor from the actual main body. Now we can actually lift the LCD from the monitor and the body and work on this separately. So that way we can remove the inverter and touch screen and replace it for a new one. Okay, now that we've separated our monitor or LCD from the main body, we're going to go ahead on and remove the inverter board and the touch screen. So, next step, you can turn this over. Okay, next we're going to disconnect the three wires leading to the inverter. First disconnect the red, then the blue. Then we're going to disconnect this cable here. First, what I need you to do is I need you to disconnect both connectors from the touchscreen. Next, I will need you to disconnect this ribbon cable. Next, I will need you to remove the two drop holders located at both corners of the touchscreen. Here and here. They're just two tabs which keep the monitor in place of the touchscreen. And at this point, you should be able to remove the touchscreen. And there you go. That is how you remove the touchscreen from your Panasonic Toughbook CF-30. Stay tuned in for part 2 as we replace the touchscreen.
Thanks for watching today. For more repair videos, click the link below And remember, if you have a screwdriver, you can fix a computer.